Welcome back. It is time for another episode of Basic Car Maintenance. Today we got my Honda back in the garage. And by the way, as follow-up from the last video, look at that. I got new tires. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about oil. Yes, oil. So, your engine oil is probably one of the most important things on the car. Without engine oil, things stop moving. So inside your engine, there are lots of little things that roll together. And on the crankshaft and the camshaft specifically, what it is they're called bearings, but not really called bearings. I was looking for one earlier that I could show you, and I didn't have one. But I'll show you on the board here. So we have something round like that, whether it's your crankshaft bearing, whether it's your camshaft bearing, whether your connecting rod, whatever it is. Anyway, and then that's the one that spins. It goes spinny, right? And then out here you have a piece that connects to it. And so we'll call this the bearing. And we're just going to call this the crankshaft. This little bearing right here, it doesn't move. It's not like your traditional bearing. I got a really cool one over here. It's not like your traditional bearing where it's got rollers in it and it spins like that. You know, great big fidget spinner. All it has is just metal. And when you have metal on metal contact, it doesn't work. It chafes really bad, you know, no lubrication, right? So with this one, of course I left my marker over here. There it is. So what happens when your engine is it pumps oil into this little space here. There's a very little tiny space between the two of them. It pumps oil in there and it becomes a fluid film in there, and it lubricates your engine to make sure it keeps running. Well, over time, that oil in there, it kind of starts breaking down and you start getting contaminants in it. And so that's why you have to change your oil. I change my oil every 5,000 miles because it's really easy to remember because I can count by fives. 5,000, 10,000, 25,000, 15,000. Wait, anyway, I can't count by fives apparently. Anyway, so it's important to change your oil. I do it about every 5,000 miles. And it's also important to check your oil, especially if you have an older vehicle. They tend to leak a little bit. So I'm going to show you right here under the hood. Again, like I said, we're working on my Honda on the engine. And if you can't find where it is on your car, I'd say pull your owner's manual out of the glove box. I call it jockey box, glove box, whatever. What do you guys call it? Jockey box or glove box? Let me know in the comments. Pull your owner's manual out and check in there. It'll actually show you where different things are. On this car, the oil dipstick is right here. Now, to check the engine oil, you always want the engine turned off. It's hot or cold, it doesn't really matter. So, here we go. We're gonna check our engine oil. And if the right way to do it is pull the stick out, get a rag, and kind of requires two hands for this. I'm gonna set you guys up over here. All right. I'll get down so you can see this. So the right way to do this is to pull your dipstick out like I did, take a rag, wipe it off, wipe all the oil off, then you stick it back in, pull it back out, and you look at the dipstick. This one has two holes. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a hole here and a hole here. What that means is this is high level and this is low level. So you can also see just a little bit of oil on here. I'm actually a quart low. So I'm actually a quart low right now because, imagine that. 27-year-old car leaks oil. I tend to do that. So I am going to add a quart of oil. It's quite easy. You find your oil cap, mine's right there. Typically they're up here on top of the engine. And mine's right there. We are going to go ahead, pull it off. If you look at it, a lot of times they'll say right here on the cap, what kind of oil to use. 5W30, see? We're not gonna go into what all that means, because for this kind of video, it's not important. But what is important is to put in what your car recommends. Let's see if I can get this. By the way, I already know how much it is in this. There's 1 quart left in this jug because I buy it in the bulk jugs to change my oil. And this car took 4 quarts when I changed the oil. And this is a 5 quart jug, so I had 1 quart left over. And just like that. Look at that. Nice, clean, fresh oil. So, over there. Now I'm going to slip this cap back on. You always want to keep things nice and clean because you don't want to get gunk in your engines. Okay, so that's how to check your motor oil. Not too hard. And if I pull the dipstick back, I'll let that settle for just a minute. Then I'll pull the dipstick back out and I'll show you. I'll just do it right now. Should have settled by now. Pull it out again. If you look right there, now you can see oil is at the 2nd dot. So my oil, I had it in a big jug. A lot of times you'll have oil. When you buy oil, you'll buy it in a quart bottle. If you have to buy it at a gas station or wherever. Sorry, my thing's a mess. It'll be in a bottle like this. And it really doesn't matter that much if you mix brands of oil. I run synthetic in everything of mine just because. And you know what, if you can't find synthetic at the gas station, it's not that big a deal. It'll run just fine. You mix it, it doesn't matter. I know, I'll get all the haters in the comments, but no, it really doesn't matter. Okay, anyway, the other things you want to check under the hood, the oils. This car has power steering. Right here, it is power steering fluid. So on the side of the container, it says upper level and lower level. This one, we can look in it. There's oil in there. If you look at the side, you can actually see, I can see it anyway, whether you can or not, I don't know. It is actually at the upper level. I may or may not have filled that earlier today. Then, this car is a manual transmission. If you have an automatic transmission, we're gonna go over here to my wife's truck, the project truck over here, that I'm still working on. So, if you have an automatic transmission, they're a little bit different. It's very similar to checking your engine oil. Sorry. We're gonna put the light over here. Shine it right in my face so I can't see, but you can. Anyway, so it's very similar to checking the engine oil, except for with the automatic transmission, you do it while the engine is running. Because with the engine running, there's a pump in the transmission that pumps fluid all up through all the inner workings of the transmission. And so you want to check it when it's pumping fluid, not when all the fluid's settled to the pan. Because if you check it when it's already all the fluid is in the pan, it'll always be full. Then you actually don't have enough. So again, you pull the dipstick. It's like on this one. On this truck, see if you can see. I don't know where my magnet light went. That's kind of annoying. Anyway, so this one, engine oil's right here. Check the oil in the truck. See how this one's doing. It better be full. And look at that. Whew. We are good. Like I said, it better be full because this one doesn't leak any. And it's a brand new motor. So I've started it several times. You can look on my channel at other videos of that. But anyway, this is transmission fluid. A lot of times it's a long dipstick. It's a lot longer. See? And it looks cherry flavored. But anyway, this one's not running. On this one, my power steering fluid is actually right here. So not a bad one to check if you have a kind of a whining in the engine, like whining when it's running. That's typically a power steering pump not having enough juice. You want to check that. The other thing to check under the hood, if your engine's cooled off, is check your coolant. So your radiator cap is a good one to check. Do not do it when it's hot because there's pressure in there and it could blow up and burn your face. This one, let's see how we're doing here. Whew. I need to add some. You can see some in there. I need to add a little bit more. So anyway, we'll just put that back on. This truck is a work in progress. So I'm been working on painting it. Right now this is basically a frame off restoration. I use the term restoration very loosely because I'm not really doing full restoration on it, but I kind of am. Sweet truck though. It'll be a really sweet truck when it's done. This car, again, radiator caps right here. This one's cold. Always want to check your radiator fluid when it's cold. And see there, I got antifreeze right here at the top. It's full. We are good. And we'll put that back on there. And the other one is, I call it a puke tank, but it's your antifreeze overflow, to where what happens is as the engine gets warm, the fluid expands. Antifreeze, like, it all expands. And so it has to have somewhere to go because it's a non-compressible fluid. And what it does is it expands, and it expands into your overflow tank. And then when the engine cools, that fluid cools and it actually sucks it back into the radiator. So a lot of times these have a thing on them right here. You can see it has a min and a max. You can kind of see on the side of that. Max is up here at the top. Pull that cap off and I'm empty. I'll have to put some more in that one. Won't do that right now though. There we go, cap's back on. Let's see, other fluids under the hood that you might want to check. This one right here. This one is called washer fluid. This is stuff that when you pull on the little stick inside that goes squirty squirty on your windshield, you gotta have the squirty squirty juice come out. I'm pretty good on that, I think. Let's see, what else? Oh, let's talk about some of the other fluids in your car. Let's talk about the fluids in your differentials. So oil kind of makes the whole car go around. You have brake fluid. Should never have to check that. You really shouldn't. It's up here on the firewall. This is the firewall, right? Keeps the fire in here and keeps you safe in there. Brake fluid is up here. Shouldn't really have to check that, but there's on the side of the can, it has a min and a max. Not a bad idea to check it. Let's see. This is a hydraulic clutch because it's a managed transmission. Check clutch fluid if we wanted to. But the other one is differentials. Talk about differentials. We're going to use the truck over here because you can see it. After I move some crap out of the way. So this right here is what's called a differential. It takes power from the transmission via the driveline right here. And then inside of here, magic happens. There's some gears that look a lot like that. So, just for fun. Just for funsies because I can. I'm going to show you how this works. This is a third member out of my tracker. So what happens is the driveline turns this right here. It's called your pinion gear. And this is called, this one right here is called a ring gear. So it turns that, you can kind of see the gears in there, turning it. And then what goes in here, called an axle shaft. Goes right in there. You can see the splines that it hooks into. And so as the driveline turns, the pinion turns the ring gear, and right inside of here, it turns your side gears, also called spider gears. So because you can see on here, there's a bearing here, then there's a bearing up in there, and there's stuff in here, there's gears. All of that needs lubricated. So there's oil that goes in there that lubricates it. If you take your car in for service and they recommend that you get your differential oil changed, probably not a terrible idea. That stuff doesn't break down as fast because it's a different oil. It's a lot thicker and a lot heavier. But you always, if you have an older vehicle, might not be a terrible idea to check it. This car is a front-wheel drive car, not a rear-wheel drive. That truck is a rear-wheel drive car. So this car, the differential is actually part of the transmission. So it doesn't have extra differential fluid. If you have an all-wheel drive car, there's a good chance you will have a rear differential and your front differential. All-wheel drive cars, typically the front differential is in the transmission and the rear differential is in the back. So they'll probably recommend changing that fluid. I don't know what the frequency on it is. It all depends on which car you're driving. Mine, I don't know, 50,000 miles or so. It's probably a good idea to change it. If you have an old truck or something like that, it's a good idea to check it. You pull the plug out to check it. I think this one's got a top plug. In order to check it, where's my full plug? Oh, it's on the side. This one, it's up on the side. And it's on the side right here. There's a plug. What you do is you pull that plug out and you stick your finger in there. If your finger touches oil, you're good. If not, put some oil in it. So anyway, fluids. Those are the main things to check on your car. Most important one is engine oil. Engine oil. Get it in, change it, 5,000 miles. I don't care if your dealer thinks you can go 50,000 miles without changing oil. No. Just no. Bad things happen. It turns into pudding. Sludgy, oily, greasy pudding. And that doesn't lubricate very well. And your engine will be toast. If you hit a rock and you lose all your engine oil on the ground, your engine will be toast. They don't last very long. Like I said, when you have metal rubbing on metal with no oil in there to lubricate, not a good thing. A lot of new cars have a sensor in them, an oil pressure sensor. Actually, all cars should have some kind of oil pressure gauge. You want 60 to 80 psi of oil pressure, you know, depending on whether you have a gauge that tells you. But most of them just have a light on the dashboard. It looks like the oil light looks like a little genie lamp. I don't know how to show you one because, well, maybe I can. Nope, can't. Don't have my keys. Anyway, the oil light on the dashboard is like a little genie lamp. If that comes on, it's a really good indication that you're probably low on oil or you're low on oil pressure. Oil pressure is, that's a whole other story, but that's the pressure that pushes the oil into all the little places it belongs. So anyway, that's about it. Have any questions about it? Comment below. Let me know what you think. Hopefully these little videos I'm doing are helpful. That's my intent, is to just help you keep your car running and on the road. If you have any other topics or anything you want to learn about on a car, or you have questions, comment below. I will answer them for you if I can. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. And change your oil.